What's up, everyone? All right, so finishing the first day of April up $11,104.29, an unexpected big first day of the month. Today is the 57th trading day of the year, and my average right now is about $2,800 per day, which is fantastic. 160,000 plus or minus on the year. And you know, today it was really pretty easy. SLS was the stock straight off the watch list. I was watching the pre-market high of $6. I got in at $5.80, anticipating the test of the pre-market high. We ended up hitting a high today of $10.69, up nearly 200%. I mean, it was absolutely incredible, and it was really a pretty straightforward trade. A lot of traders in the room got big wins on this one, which is a great way to start the month. Nice big cushion. All right, so we'll break down all of today's trades in today's midday market recap. All right, everyone. So here we are finishing the first day of April, and what a great start to the month. I wasn't expecting to have this type of day today, but I'm going to get out my calendar and write it down. $11,104.29, all on one stock, straight off our watch list. So really, we kept it simple today, didn't deviate from the strategy. We knew SLS was going to be in play just based on the pre-market scans, and jumped in, capitalized on it, and boom, a big green day. So I'm gonna write that in the calendar here, $11,104.29. And let's see, what is today? It is the, let's see, that was the 54th, 55, 56, 57, no, it's the 57th day of the year. So 57th day of 2018. Boy, that feels good. It's always nice to start the month with a big win. And even though I would have really loved to have traded this one in my IRA, it just happened so fast that I didn't feel like I could position myself with a good entry. So that's okay. That's that's kind of the way it is sometimes. I'm not going to be too disappointed about that. Still did really well on the trade. So let's look at just starting from the very beginning. How did we find the stock? How did we know where to buy it? And what were my entries? So pull up the gap scanner here. SLS was our leading gapper this morning. This is, I'm going to do the time frame on this. Historical date, we'll do this at 9:20 a.m. All right, so at 9:20 a.m., it was priced at $5.19, gapping up 50% with 190,000 shares of volume. All right, not bad. Now, this had a strong catalyst, which was news about clinical trials with breast cancer patients. So we had a catalyst. And when I pulled up the chart on this one, this was what our 5-minute chart looked like, and this is what our 1-minute chart looked like. I could see that it was definitely strong pre-market. I wish it had opened right around at this price, because I would have been a buyer at 5.30 and doubling at 5.50. But by the time the bell rang, it had already squeezed up to a high of $6. And I did feel like it was getting a little bit extended. So when the bell rang, I told everyone, I was like, look, guys, I'm going to approach this as a scalp. When I look at my average winners over the last, 15 months since I started my $583 challenge, my average winners are about 18 cents per share. So on this one, I'm going in for an 18-20 cent winner. And if it ends up working out for more, then that's great. So the bell rings and it starts squeezing up right away. I know the pre-market high is $5.99. I jumped in at $5.80, anticipating that this level would get, at the very least, tested, that the price would hit $6, and that right there is 20 cents of profit. And if it broke through the pre-market highs and squeezed higher, that would give me 30-40 cents of total profit. So let's look at the orders. All right, so my very first order, I'm in with 7,500 shares at $5.80. So I'm being a little aggressive on my share size, but not incredibly so. And then I add another 2,500 shares at $5.87. So now I've got 10,000 shares at $5.87. Literally 7 seconds later, it's at $6.23 and I sell half. I sell half because we have just squeezed up 50 cents and I'm up over $5,000. I sell half. It squeezes to a high of 650, and I sell another quarter at 635. I sell more at 624, and with that, I was out of the trade. So right here in the first, let's see, this is the first 1 minute. The first 1 minute of trading, I had over $4,000 of profit. I then got back in as it pulled back and started to curl back up at 629. 629, 626, and 626 with 7,500 shares. I put the order to sell half at 673 for 50 cents profit. That right there is $3,500 if I sold the whole thing. Now, I didn't sell the whole thing. I sold 2,700 shares, and I sold the rest at 60 and then at 72, trying to sell on the ask but not getting filled. Selling on the ask, only filling 200 shares. Selling on the ask, not filling, and so I hit the bid, and then again, I hit the bid. I ended up taking a little bit of a loss down here on the very bottom of those 2,200 shares. All right, so that was all inside this action right here. I then got back in for one more stab. I believe this was at 932 in this third candle with 7,500 shares again, 936 and 636 and 659, and selling basically for a small loss or a small profit. It didn't really work out very well. Sold that one at 634, 622, and 619, 627. All right, so a couple of trades there. Then consolidating sideways, and then suddenly pops back up. So this was the spot right here where it starts to pop back up, and traders watching this closely would have been getting a good entry right here at 587. I wasn't watching it closely enough. It pops up to a high of 620 and 625, 625. I ended up adding at 677 right up here. So I add at 677, it pulls back for a second, I added, and it squeezes up to a high of 713, and it's halted. All right, I sold some at 712 before the halt. It resumes from the halt. I add at 739, and here you can see it squeezes up to a high of 827. So I add at 739, I take some profit at 775, I add more at 787, 88, and 94. I sell some at 804, and I add back at 827 as we squeeze into the second halt. We then resume, we pull back for a second. I'm selling at 846, 859, and at the high for me of 898. And with that, I booked $11,104.29. It hit a high of exactly $10. So I sold it a little shy of the highs. You don't always capture the top and bottom of every move, but when you have a move this big, right? This is a really big move. Even if you can only capture a fraction of it, even if you only get from, here to here or from here to here, that right there is opportunity for you to hit your daily goal. And if you get a couple good trades and you get this whole block right in here, kind of the way I did from 677 there, all the way up to a high of 898, which is right there, that's fantastic. And that's $11,000. Now, for me, I wasn't trading with as big of share size as I could have. I'm sure some traders, I know some of you guys in the room made more than me. I saw a trader in the room make $16,000. Another with $25,000, and another trader with $116,000. So the amount of money you make is relative to the share size. So you can see my average share size today across, what was it, 4 or 5 trades. My average share size was probably somewhere around, 6,000 or 7,000 shares per trade. All right, so I traded a total of 75,000 shares, 39 trades. Now, another trader who feels more comfortable trading with 15,000 shares would have $21,000 in profit, potentially, if they took the exact same entries as me. Another trader who maybe traded with only 5,000 shares, but takes a strategy of buying and holding until the first 5-minute candle to go red, might have gotten in 5,000 shares at $6 and held it all the way here until 9:10. So that would have been a $15,000 winner, even with smaller size. There's a lot of different ways that you can hit your daily goal. But really, the amount of money you make is certainly relative to your share size. So some of you guys who are beginner traders, you might be trading with 1/10 of my share size, and you're up only $1,100 today. But I'm sure almost everyone here would be very happy with an $1,100 day, especially a beginner trader. Some of you guys have been trading for longer than me, or have bigger accounts than I do, or have a bigger appetite for risk, and you trade with bigger size than I do. And that's how you make $22,000 today, or $30,000, or $40,000, or even maybe $100,000. So it's really relative to your personal risk tolerance. But what's awesome is that these strategies and these stocks can accommodate this big range. And for any beginner trader, it's a great opportunity to hit your daily goal. So I'm just so excited to start the month with a nice big win. $11,000 is a fantastic way to start the month. I don't think I had, let's see, my best month in March was, it was $14,000. So that was a good month, or that was a good day. That was about 2 weeks ago. So, you know, I had a few pretty solid days there back in March, but then, as you know, I had a red day a couple Fridays ago, and you know, last week was trying to dig myself out of the hole, and now with this trade, I'm out of the hole and well back into the green, which is just a great way to start a new month. So I'm excited about that. And remember, if some of you guys missed this trade, you're watching it, and you know you fumbled your orders, or you're a beginner trader and you're still trading in the sim, and you know you're feeling like, oh man, I wish it was real money. Don't get the FOMO. Just sit tight, be patient. We will see stocks like this again. I guarantee it 100%. This is just the first one this week. We'll probably have another one like this week. So be patient, wait for those A quality setups, and then try to capitalize and book those profits. All right. So, and again, today I didn't trade in the IRA. I would have loved to have done it, but that first trade was, I just knew this entry was extended, and I didn't want to risk it because I was buying here. Definitely it was extended with that doji candle at the end of pre-market, and this setup usually is just a scalp. This is almost, I mean, this is like, it's totally typical of what they do. They give you a scalp, they pop up, and then they go sideways. And a lot of times from here, they can fade and go all the way back down. This one curled and gave us that second setup, and that's because it had good quality news. There was a good catalyst. And that's what we were talking about last week at the Inner Circle, this being the type of stock that can start that next round of momentum. Because traders who are like, oh, I'm going to short this thing at 7 or 6, it's going to be back down at $3 tomorrow. It's a, you know, this is just another one of those stocks popping up that's going to fade back down. Well, if they didn't check the headline, they might do that. But with that strong catalyst, you got to be careful, because something like that can happen. And if you're short 10,000 shares at $6 and you hold the whole thing against you for 3-4 points, you're down $30,000, $40,000. And it doesn't take a lot to make that type of mistake. It's just a momentary lapse in judgment. Taking a short position, putting a stop order, and getting up and walking away, and not realizing your stop order didn't fire and you're still holding it. I mean, it can be pretty bad. So yeah, I would have loved to have had this type of stock at Inner Circle for you guys, just because that would have been a lot of fun, and I know you guys would have been pumped to have that big winner down there. But you know, it is what it is. Thursday was a little bit slow, and the market was closed on Friday. So I guess this is giving us kind of that big win to make up for it. So yeah, bummed that I don't have a trade in the IRA, but I think it was the right move not to take the first trade. And then all of the trades after that really were scalp trades, and they were quick entry, quick exit. And if they had gone the wrong way, I would have been able to get out fast, which is fine. But I just didn't want to risk having a big loss in the IRA. So anyways, I think that was the smart move. And here we are now, looking like a break at $10 is possible. This is that ABCD setup, the pop, the pullback, and then the break over that level. So, you know, over $10, it wouldn't surprise me if it was squeezed into another circuit breaker halt. But I'm going to be done for the day. I'm going to take my money and be happy with that. I wish at the end of these days I could have the money actually stacked up how much I had, because $11,000 is an awesome day. And it really does make up for the day 2 weeks ago where I lost $11,000. Not just literally and financially, but also definitely emotionally. So watch here, you see the volume there. You know, again, to me, this isn't really the safest entry to be a buyer. But if you're short, and you're trying to short these before they really have rolled over, you'd be buying up here just to cover up the position before it goes through high a day. So keep that high day spot on watch. It's definitely a level where it could snap. Here's 90, 99, 89, 95 on the ask, 88. It just looks like it wants to break. 95, 7,600 shares. There we go. There's a little more buying there at 95, 98, $10. Boom, you see that seller at 10. So we had a little bit of a seller up there at 10, 25,000 shares. That scares away traders who are jumping in just for the quick scalp over that level. But if it keeps grinding, it'll eat up that seller and it'll break over. So see, back at 92, $10. It's fun to watch, up 185%. And it's especially nice to watch when you've already got your cushion on the name because you don't feel like, I'm not going to mess around with it. I'm not going to take another trade. I'm just going to enjoy seeing it if it does break out, because this is just a good sign of strength and momentum in the market. It increases the likelihood that we will have sympathy momentum tomorrow and Wednesday, and that this will just be a really strong week, first week of April. All right, so that's it for me. I'll let you guys keep watching this if you want, and we'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning, pre-market analysis around 9 a.m. All right, see you guys in the morning. If you're still watching, you must have really enjoyed that video. So why not subscribe and get email alerts anytime I upload new content? Remember, when you subscribe, you become a member of the Warrior Trading family.